Good morning, guys. It is Thursday. Yay. And welcome back. It is day 9 of second grade, and I'm excited that you're here. It's Miss Bland, and we're going to go over today's things just to make sure everybody's good, make sure we're reviewing, make sure that we know what's going on, and make sure we're ready for tomorrow's tests and assessments with a little bit of review. So, I am super excited that you're watching my video and taking the time to get your work done. That's awesome of you. I know that it's not always easy, so I'm thankful for you and your parents and your dedication to getting it finished. So good morning. It says good morning, but you may be watching this in the afternoon. So good day to you. Hang in there, tomorrow's Friday. I know we all feel like this chimpanzee. Miss Bland definitely feels like him today. I'm super sleepy, but we're going to make it happen for the greater good. Remember that Miss Vester gives us our social emotional learning lessons every week. And this week we've been talking about rules. Rules are important. They make a difference in what we do and how we feel. Remember our virtual rules. If you're watching, make sure you're sitting up in your chair, that you're comfortable. Remember that you're listening. Miss Bland doesn't mind if you eat, but just keep all those things in mind. So today is about being rules. Suppose you got to make a rule. Suppose you were the teacher for the day and you get to decide about a rule. What would your rule be? It says teacher for the day. If you could change any rule in our classroom or school, add school in there, or make a new rule, what would it be? What do you think would happen? So we're going to start a sentence. This is a sentence that our boys and girls did in the live Zoom this morning, because this is the first time, this is actually new. This is the first time Ms. Bland has made the video after I taught the lesson. Usually I pre-record them, so this is a little different. So I thought I'd try something different today. And plus, Ms. Bland took her computer home yesterday, and she forgot to take the charger. So we have to work backwards. It's okay. So it says, if I was a teacher at school, my first rule in school would be, tell me what your rule would be. This morning in our Zoom, some of your friends and classmates, they said all kinds of things. They said, oh, Miss Bland, I would make it so no one would do any pushing. They said pushing was dangerous, and I agree. We had some friends that said they would make it so we ate ice cream every day. Ooh, yummy. I love ice cream, so that might be awesome too. So think of something that you think would make a great rule. Pause here to complete. This sentence will go on a brand new clean page in your notebook. Check out Miss Bland's. It's at the top of my page, and I did put the date. And I wrote my sentence. Miss Bland said that we treat each other like family, because we would respect each other, we would love each other, we depend on each other, and we take care of each other. So that would be my choice. Pause here to complete. Great job. Remember that Ms. Vester gave us an affirmation for the week. That means every kid at Bailey is saying the same affirmation. I am enough. I get better every single day, and I am an amazing person. Few things to remember. Today's Thursday, so your packet is almost complete. Make sure that you kept your pages attached the best you can. If you have a stapler or a paper clip, please return it with those things on it, just so we don't lose anybody's work. We had some flyaway pages in some other classes, and Ms. Bland doesn't want our class to be one of them. So letterland words, we've got 12 of them we're going to see in just a few minutes. We also have vocabulary, and we know that we have assessments coming up Friday, and Little Flap is still our story of the week. Letterland, of course, helps us become better spellers and better readers because we know the sounds and how to use them in words. So your words for this week, repeat after me. He, so, she, plot, belt, shop, help, sock, shelf, neck, clock, nest. Great job. Now, in your notebook, same page that we just wrote your sentence about rules, you're going to draw a line across, draw a line to separate, and you're going to number 1 through 6. And with that 1 through 6, you're going to use these 6 words to write spelling sentences. Be sure to underline your word. You may pause here to complete, or you may complete on the end. Good job. In our reading book this week, we're still talking about our essential question. How do friends depend on each other? We talked about how friendship is important. You can pause here and tell your mom or dad how friends are important to you. Vocabulary words. We know that in every story in this book, our vocabulary words are going to be in these bright yellow boxes. Actions, afraid, depends, nervously, peered, perfectly, rescue, and secret. Pick one of your vocabulary words and tell me a sentence using that word. Well, tell mom and dad a sentence using that word. Pause here to complete. Great job. These are your definitions. Be sure that you're ready for Friday's test. These same definitions are at the top of the page of the orange sheet on the cover of your packet. Stand up behind your chair. If my word matches the red word, so I'm going to say a definition, and if it's the red word, you put your hands on your hips. If it's the black word, you sit back down in the chair. So, rescue and afraid. Remember, black word, sit down. Red word, hands on hips. You can do it standing or sitting, but hands on hips. Which word means to save something or someone from danger? I hope your hands are on your hips. They should be, because that's rescue. To be scared of something. I hope you sat down, because that's to be afraid. Private or not known by many people. I hope you're still sitting. Things that something or someone does. I hope your hands are on your hips, because those are actions. To look hard or closely at something. Hands back on your hips. That's peered. When you need or count on someone. Oh, I hope you're sitting down. That's depend. Good practice, guys. Feel free to pick up and make some of your own games to review your 8 words. Our story this week is a fantasy. Remember that there are things about fantasies that we know. The facts and characters are usually imaginary. The events cannot happen in real life, and often there are talking animals. That's always a really good sign. Visualizing. We're going to see it in our brains. We weren't there when Little Flap decided to fly, but we made a picture in our minds of what it looked like when he did. Key details. We want to be able to retell the story. You've got questions that you have to answer today, and being able to go back in your text and answer those with text evidence is a great way. Here's your story. Little Flap learns to fly. Your story runs from pages 22 through 27. You need to read your story with mom and dad or out loud alone, whichever one makes you a more comfortable reader. Mom and dad, you're welcome to take turns with them, reading pages or sentences, if that helps them build more of their reading confidence level. That's your choice. After you finish reading your story, you have 8 questions. Those 8 questions are listed here. What did Little Flap want to do in the beginning of the story? What did Fluff and Tuff and Little Flap have to learn before they can get their own worms? How did Little Flap feel about flying at first? What did the birds practice before flying out of their nest? What did Little Flap share with his friends at the end of the story? I think that was the part about that juicy worm. You must answer those, and then you'll move to the bottom of the page. How did Little Flap feel about flying at the end of the story? How did Little Flap depend on his friends? And number 8, how do you know this story is fantasy? Those talking animals. Just a hint. So pause here to read your story and complete your questions, or you may wait until the end. Math time. Please make sure that you know we're in a brand new math curriculum called Eureka Math. And Eureka Math, we're in lesson 2 of day 2 of lesson 2, and we're talking about making those tens. So we started off by looking at our numbers. We've got a 14. Our place value picture, which is here, shows us 14. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 14. The total value is 14. If I say it the say 10 way, I would say 110 and 4. 110 and 4. And the addition sentence to match my place value picture is 10 plus 4 equals 14. Pause here to discuss this one. Now let's try. In your notebook, you are going to draw and label this page. Ms. Bland needs to stop share so you can see it. Here we go. All right, in your notebook at the top, pause the screen if you need to so you can copy. But these are our notes for today for math. We made the number 38. There were 3 10s and 8 1s, 30 and 8, 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 38. We wrote 38. We wrote the addition sentence. We wrote the say 10, 3, 10, 8. Copy that down into your notebook. We use crayons for the 10s and 1s. This is a brand new page. You will draw a line, and at the bottom, we're doing 52. You may pause here to copy 52. 50 and 2, we wrote 52. 50 plus 2 equals 52, and the say 10 way is 50 is 5, 10, 2. Please copy this inside your notebook. Great job. All right, now you have a sprint inside of your packet. You have today's sprint. Mom and Dad, please make sure that you go to the sprint. Time them today for me for 1 minute. At the end of the 1 minute, up at the top in the circle, tell me how many they got right. If you can write that number in for me, that would be great. We did not get time for target practice today, so you can skip target practice as well. And you have an independent practice sheet that looks like your bugs. There was bugs. You are going to come up with numbers to use to do your buggy math. Now, Ms. Bland shared with the class some numbers, so I'll share some with you. For this one, we put 8, and we put 5, 3. And we made the math problems. 3 plus 5 equals 8. 5 plus 3 equals 8. 8 minus 3 equals 5. 8 minus 5 equals 3. For this one, we did 12. 7 and 5. Complete the 4 math problems for that fact family. Remember, for a fact family and a number bond, we do not use any other numbers except those 3. And for the last one, we did 15, 10, and 5. Complete here. On this side, some of the kids chose to use their own number bonds. Some of the kids wanted me to give them number bonds. If you'd like to use your own, you may skip what I'm about to say. If you would like to use mine, continue to listen and record. For the first one, 16, 10, and 6. For this one, trying to give everybody time to write. For the second one, 20, 11, and 9. For this one, 16, 9, and 5. Excuse me, 14. 14 is 9 and 5. I remember the 9 and 5. 14 is 9 and 5. And for the last one, surprise me. Pick one of your choice. Pause here to complete or save it till the end. That is your independent practice for today. Your debrief. What learning today do you remember from last year? Do you remember the 10s and 1s? Do you remember having to add those together to find the answers? What do you remember about 10s and 1s from last year? That is our debrief question. Look at mom, dad, grandma, or Mima, whoever you're with today, and tell them something you remember about math from first grade. And last but not least, we have the exit ticket page. In your packet, it's behind your sprint. Your sprint was here. You turn one more page. There's your exit ticket. Moms and dads, I know you love them, but please let them answer them alone and do not correct and leave them for me to see. There is no time on those. Those are just to be completed. Thank you for being amazing today. I hope that the work was something you could get through with very little trouble and awesome results. I can't wait to see it when you turn your packet in. Remember, you're going virtually. There are assignments in Seesaw for today. There were 6 assignments, 3 were for yesterday. You can do the last 3 today. We are working to make Google Forms and Seesaw a part of our daily deal. And so this is a gradual process, and we're still right here, but one day soon, we're gonna be those flowers. Online assignments, remember, 6 of them, 3 each day for Seesaw to be completed. It's time to work. If you did your work as you went along, then you're good to go. You're just checking over your paper to make sure you didn't skip anything. If you've chosen to do your work now and watch the video through, then now's your time to finish that work. Make sure that whichever way you chose, that you do all of your work, you get everything completed. Moms and dads in Dojo, I did send a reminder message to my Zoom parents, and I think you guys got it too, of the things that I am looking to make sure they are finished. So make sure you get all that work done, and if you have any questions, you let Ms. Bland know what your questions are. Remember, the Bailey specials are on the Weebly page. You need to go and visit their page and get your exit tickets done because they do count for you guys as well. We'll be back this afternoon. With guys, I'm just going over some fluency. Next week, I'm gonna start making some assigned times to have the kids read to me. So it's gonna be real important that they're comfortable with fluency. So that's the goal of this afternoon. We're also gonna talk about drawing birds to go along with Little Flap, just something a little fun. Remember that if you're watching this, you can send me your story questions, you can send me any one of the math pages or your letterland sentences so your attendance for today will count. Talk about a great job. You guys did a great job. I'm excited. I'm so glad you joined me. Make sure that all of your work is complete. And as always, if you need something, let Ms. Bland know. Have a great Thursday. I'll see you tomorrow.